Yeah, just so nice and soft right in front of the rim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Maiwan, Jake, part 2.
What's up, y'all?
Alright, everybody. This is Maiwan here at Dash Radio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Speaking of Walk of Fame in Hollywood, today we got super viral, incredibly talented Jake in the house. How you doing?
What is up, yo?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, my guy.
So,
Yeah,
like,
it's dope to be here.
This little high five I do, the arms don't always reach.
Yeah.
But Jake here has long limbs. This is a tall man.
Yes.
So everyone knows. I'm sure people have caught this from the TikTok.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are very tall and even more talented, dude.
Thank you.
Let me tell everybody how this process works on my end. So I get artists submitted. I get to pick who I want to interview, who we want to. Sometimes people just come in and make content. Sometimes we'll just do like a little blog.
Mm-hmm.
When they submitted me Jake, I was like, oh, it's an upside down guy, you know? I'm like,
Yep.
Of course, I got to interview him. But then part of the process now is like listening to your Spotify.
Yeah.
So as I was telling you, when you walked in, immediately hooked to like every single
Amazing.
song.
Thank you, man.
This is exactly what love feels like. This is what heartbreak feels like, upside down. And then motherfucking Dandelion.
Hey, Dandelion.
Everything you've dropped is so, you know, the key words I'd say is well executed.
Thank you.
From the production to the songwriting, like Dandelion is it's so complex in a sense, like the metaphor of like a dandelion, you hold it, you're cherishing and it blows away.
Wow, thank you,
but
man.
The melody is so simple too.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. That's love, man. I appreciate that.
No, absolutely, bro. I appreciate us, like our generation, having an artist that's so well in tune with music.
Thank you.
So
yeah.
I want to get into your beginning. So you are in a good way, I want to say this, like a church boy, like a choir boy is the right way, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in church. My dad's a pastor and my mom is a music teacher. She teaches elementary school music.
Okay.
And so from a young age, she told me, she was like, yeah, you're going to have to be taking lessons all growing up. It doesn't matter which one, but you got to take lessons. And so I started off with piano, and then I got sick of piano. I went to the drums, and then I went to guitar, and then back to piano after that. So I was taking lessons all the way up, even into, I was a little bit ahead of, for my grade. So I was a little bit young in college. I was 16 in college, and I was taking.
Whoa, hold on. You graduated high school by 16?
Yeah. So
15, 16?
So pretty much I was like, I skipped first grade for whatever reason, and then my senior year they had this program where you can go to college a year early for your senior year. So by the time I was 16. I was in college. It was crazy.
Wow.
But then ended up just dropping out by 17 years old.
Yeah. Then you dropped out to pursue this full time.
Full time. Yep.
And thank God you did.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, you do not need that degree, dog. We need the album.
Let's go.
So that was one thing about you that I was like, oh, this Jake's gonna do really well. Because you were like to have a mom as a school teacher. I think you were probably raised with great morals. I can assume. Yeah. And then you factor in your pops as a pastor. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this dude has great morals. Hey. And to me, it just goes to show that you're gonna build a lot of long lasting relationships.
Yeah, 100%. No, my family unit, and even I'm still like hyper connected with my church community and stuff like that. So
still to this day, even after blowing up and going viral.
Yes, 100%. And that's kind of one of the main reasons why I haven't moved yet. I still live in Rhode Island. I got tons of friends, family, and specifically church friends that are like just, ride or die for me. So it's amazing.
Wow. Little Baby, to random correlation. Lil Baby had an interesting quote. He once said he won't move to LA because everyone moves out here, especially in this industry. But he said he feels like if he leaves Atlanta, he will lose like the core of what he is. Yeah. And so you feel like that attachment with Rhode Island and where you're from?
100%. Yeah, it's so important for me to just be able to kick back and kind of go back to somewhat of a normal life whenever I can, because just having like family and friends around, being able to just go out at night and hang out with people, like that's the type of stuff I live for. So having that balance has been amazing for me.
Dude, I love that, because Rhode Island is, not to shit on Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Is there like a cool way to say Rhode Island? Like the rye, the R-I?
Lil Rhodey. That
Little
worked.
Rhodey. Shout out to Little Rhodey. But, it's not Manhattan. It's not Atlanta. It's not LA. So I think you can kind of get away from everything when you're home.
For sure. Yeah, it's great. It's such a good escape from everything else that's going on. But I love what I'm doing. It's so much fun.
Oh man, I can't imagine. And I want to get into something really key about your music process and your creating. But I do something, Jake. Every interview I do with an artist, I give them an album. So for my CD collection, I like to listen to your music, read about you, and think of an album that kind of correlates.
Okay.
It's either something that I think might have inspired you on your journey or something that I want to draw a comparison to. So
okay, let's go.
This one's a little weird and different. I'm going to show you the album and then I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to give you Kanye West, 808 and Heartbreaks. Is this an album you grew up on?
I did grow up on this album. Yo, literally, this was one of my biggest inspirations, and I never actually had a hard copy, so this is crazy.
And that's from the original time it came out, so it's not reproduced, like whatever he originally made.
I'm putting this in my room 110%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this was one of my biggest inspirations. 808s and Heartbreaks is like that. So I came across my brother's iPod.
And like 2016, right?
Yeah. So it was really early on, and like I hadn't really listened to too much music. And so once I came across it, like that was like the album that like there were multiple songs on there that I still love to this day. And
this album, right?
Yes, huge inspiration.
So I actually looked it up because you said in the interview you were 15 when you discovered Drake and Kanye on your brother's iPod.
Yeah.
And I was torn between College Dropout and 808 and Heartbreaks.
Yes.
Because I'm like, well, he is a college dropout, so there's that awesome comparison. So either way, driving into work today, I told myself he is getting a Kanye West album.
Let's go. And this was the one. Yeah.
Good, man. Hell yeah. I did my research. But
Let's go.
It was really there's a few comparisons I want to draw because there's gonna be a lot of haters on the web, especially you're so viral. The kids that watch this on YouTube and see clips on TikTok are gonna be like, he's not Kanye West. But I want people to understand something. Your level of the level that you create music at, like the average artist can't. You write, you sing, you produce. I imagine you mix and master too.
Yeah. Most of the tracks I've released were mixed and mastered by me.
Get the fuck out of here. The ones that I've heard like now on Spotify.
Yeah.
Bro, yes, you deserve a Kanye West
Thank
album,
you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Because Ye, so anyone who doesn't know, Ye also has his hands on every part of the process when it comes to his music. But there's another comparison. Kanye was really close to his mother, very close to Donda.
Yeah.
And, to the point where we all know the name Donda now. It's like a household term. And this was the album, sadly, that Kanye made after his mom's death. And it was I think it's so interesting that album inspired you a lot, but that album, so much of it was drawn from Kanye losing his mom.
Yeah.
But the not weird, but the comparison to me is that you've created so much with your mother.
Yes. Yeah. She's all over all my content.
Amazing.
It's so much fun. I love doing it with her.
Right? Like you produce Upside Down with your mom.
So pretty much when it comes to the content side of stuff, like my mom doesn't actually like create any of the pieces, but when we're recording and filming, she's actually pressing the buttons in the perfect timing because she's really musically competent.
Yeah.
So I'll call her and I'll be like, yo, I just made this. Can you come and like, we'll do this. And it just goes viral. But she's like, having her around is just like amazing because I love her so much. And I like just love to have her, around while I'm, doing music and all that stuff. And she'll like knock on my door and be like, I really like this one. What if you did this and that? I'm just like, all right, mom. But
that's what I was gonna ask. As children, we tend to become like immune or like annoyed by what our parents say almost. No matter what it is, even if it's like you're gonna put your hand on the stove.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, don't, and you're just like, I'm gonna do it because you said don't.
Yep.
Does this ever happen with the music?
For sure. And it's funny, like if she ever says like, oh, I love this song, I'm like, oh, I don't really like it as much now. But that's
What's
just
your mom's name,
Pam.
Pam,
Yes.
last name, if you don't mind me asking?
Lawson, yeah. Pam
Miss
Lawson.
First off, I want to applaud your
Hey.
mom. I really want to applaud
We
Miss
love
Lawson.
Mom.
She's not here right now. I wish she was. I would have given her a big hug. But that is fucking hilarious. Miss Lawson, you need to use that psychologically so when you have a bad song, and your mom knows, you used to be like, oh, I love that shit.
Yeah. It's great. Anytime like she, and a lot of times I'm making music like late at night and my bedroom's right next to hers. And so here and there I'll get a call like, hey, can you turn it down, please? I'm trying to sleep. I'll be like, sorry. Sometimes I'll be streaming on Twitch and that'll happen and everybody just like, yeah, you got to shut that off. You got to respect your mom. I'm like, all right.
Driving Pam crazy.
Yeah.
We got to save Pam at all costs.
For sure. Exactly.
That's awesome, man, because I think that's going to help you be so grounded. Some of the most successful artists, because I'm like a hip hop historian, but you know, my knowledge branches out a little more. But in hip hop specifically, from Kanye to Waka Flocka to Offset, a lot of the most successful artists, their mothers are really close.
Yeah. It's definitely played a huge role in everything that I do.
That's incredible, man. And the fact that you share that, you know, because in hip hop, people kind of hide it.
Right.
Like it took years for me to know that Waka Flocka's mom managed him.
Yeah,
and
wow.
Years. It took me to actually work on events for the Migos. For me to be like, oh shit, Offset's mom is part of the team.
Right.
And then I started researching really her role.
Yeah.
So outside of the you know, just like helping with the content, what other role does your mom play in the music?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things, and I know that like this is something I learned early on, is that everybody's opinion is valid in its own way. And like if someone doesn't like a song, we can't just say like, oh, well, like you're wrong for this and this reason, like you should like it. It's like, no, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Absolutely. And so getting that extra perspective especially from my mom, like anytime that she does say she likes something, like I'm like, okay, that's actually really good, because like maybe all my friends like this or that song, but if my mom likes it, that's even better because it's expanding the audience, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, she loves to give input on different songs, and here and there I'll just be like, hey, you want to hear some songs? I'll play her through like 10 new songs that I've been working on, and it's great to get her thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's amazing that you receive the feedback so well, because I love my parents. No one loves my mom and dad more than me. I'm with them like every other weekend. But holy shit, I don't take their advice. Like my dad tells me something, I'm like, in my head, I never say this to him. I'm like, fuck off, Dad. Like, I'm good, right? Like in my head, obviously, love you, pops. But I think that's amazing that you can receive that. Yeah,
no, they're great, and everybody's thoughts and opinions. Like usually, it's easy to just brush them off because they're your parents. But that's what I found is like there usually is something good that they're trying to say, and a lot of times it comes back around that they were right. So I'm trying to learn that, you know, they got some wisdom.
For all the big Jake fans, listen to your parents.
There we go.
Listen, because if you're not listening to Miss Lawson, Pam, shout out Pam, maybe we don't get Upside Down the way that it came out.
For sure.
Or maybe some of these songs.
Yeah.
So when you get the track list ready, does mom have to approve? You know what I mean?
I will definitely be playing her the whole album. We're just touching it up right now, getting it ready. But yeah, we'll definitely get her thoughts.
So you're getting it ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I read an interview from 2020, and Jake had said, you said because you'd been making music your whole life and throughout college, you had about 400 like demos or songs done.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a while ago in like 2020 or so. And just because of COVID, like I've still been like, you know, back in the studio, just chilling. Now we're at about, and the last time I checked was like 6 or 7 months ago. We were at around 800 songs at that time.
Right. So you're like 1,000 now.
Yeah. So we might be nearing 1,000, which would be absolutely insane. I got to count it soon, but I'll have to let you know.
Hell yeah. You're going to have to hire somebody just to count it.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
That's incredible. Now, what's the process like creating the album from these songs?
Yeah. So I wanted the album to be fresh and new. You know, I didn't want it to be like, oh, this is like so 2020. But there's certain songs that like I went back on and I looked at. I was like, this song I still absolutely love, and I feel like it's time to actually put this out because I've been hiding it, holding on to it for so long. And yeah, there's a number of these that like I just can't wait to get out, and I've been waiting for so long. But then there's also new ones that I've been making as I'm being more inspired, and I've been improving at writing songs and stuff like that. Like I have new stuff too, so it's a combination of both, but it's getting really close to being done.
Okay, that's super exciting because you know I think as an artist, what happens is you might have effing an incredible song you made in 2020, 2019 that you've heard 350 57 times.
Right.
So you might be like, okay, it's good, but you might forget how it felt when you first heard it.
Yeah.
So just remember, for us, it's all new.
Yeah.
Whether you made it 2019 or 2022, for us, it's going to come out 2022, and we're going to, you know what I mean? We're going to dive into it.
100%. And it's funny, like, I remember with my new song, This Is What Heartbreak Feels Like, I went to the gym and I was just like, I want to hear what I just made. And I was working out, and then like the drop hit, and I was just like going hard. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Jake works out to his own music.
Hey, you heard it here first.
This is my favorite piece of music.
And
awesome.
like it just, I wanted to hear it and see what it felt like. And it just hit crazy. And so, like looking back, like my feelings have slowly like changed in different ways, but in general, I still love the song, but like, I remember that first time, that first feeling. And so I always have to remind myself like, yo, people have never heard this. Like this is a first experience for a lot of people. Yeah. So it's cool.
I hear that from artists. I'll sit and talk to them. I'm like, your album came out. Are you excited? And the first thing they say is like, yeah, but you know, this album's been done for a year. I'm really excited to get to my next one. You know?
Yeah.
And so live in the moment too.
For sure.
Because like we're gonna live in that moment.
Amazing.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So Jake, have you gotten to like an album title, potential release time, or anything?
Yeah. So as of right now, we're wrestling with a few different title ideas. We haven't nailed it down yet, so I won't say yet. But as for release date, we're also trying to plan it according to when I go on tour. So I'm going on tour with Why Don't We? And it's going to be a whole lot of fun, but I want to drop the album before that so that we can go and sing these songs live. Yeah, exactly. So that's the plan right now, but yeah, it's really close to done.
Okay, that's so exciting, man. I want to ask about one specific song just because it's stuck in my head. Like I'm like listening to it as we talk. Dandelion. Am I saying it right? Galantis?
Yes. Yeah.
How did this come about?
Yeah. So it's crazy. I remember it was right near the beginning of quarantine, and I was just in my basement studio. Now I moved my studio up to my bedroom, but basically I was down there just cooking up for hours and hours, and I had this idea to have like a pitched up song, and so I was just sitting there, like I recorded the song with my normal voice, like playing some chords with it. And then I just pitched it up, and that was actually the first time I ever made a dance song. Like it was like my first time with the So like that vibe I had never done before. It was like a first for me. So I think that's why it came out so interesting. I was just like, it feels like it should go this direction. I should make it that sort of tempo, and it just kind of happened. It just pretty much wrote itself. And so yeah, that one, like it's one of my more like interesting and different records, but I feel like that's what makes it cool.
It's so just vibey. It's such a, excuse my language, such a fucking vibe.
Thanks, man.
Dandelion,
yeah.
Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you, man.
So actually, like, I'm gonna have beef with you for the next month as that song just like bleeds into my head.
Hey.
It just keep having to play it.
That means I did my job. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Jake, so last question is, why did you flip the A upside down? What was the inspiration on that?
Yeah, so basically when I was blowing up on TikTok, my username was Jake Lawson, and basically like everybody knew me as Jake. So we were like, all right, it needs to be Jake, but we should do something just a little bit different. And as you know, my first song was called Upside Down, and we were just like, yo, the A, we'll flip it upside down, Jvke.
Oh shit! So the upside down's success inspired flipping the A upside down.
Yep, that's how it went. So it's crazy.
That's fucking dope. Well, Jake, I like to tell a lot of artists that if you were like a stock in the stock market, I know you're young. I don't know if you've ever invested or how that works. I would invest a lot into Jake.
Hey, thank you, man.
I think you are going to absolutely dominate this industry for a long time.
Thank you.
And shout out to your parents for raising you right. I
They're
imagine
great.
like a pastor and a music teacher. I don't know, you might be a criminal, but I imagine you were raised right.
Yeah, no, they just are amazing. I love my parents.
Amazing, man. I think you're gonna do. No, I know you're gonna do well.
Thank you, man.
Jake's gonna be in this motherfucker for a long time.
We'll try.
An artist, or you are gonna be one of the busier artists for the next like 10 years. You're gonna help a lot of people. I know you've already got placements with like K-pop artists and Jason Derulo.
Yeah,
you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I'm excited.
Anybody who has Jake's phone, call him now. I promise y'all by 2023 he's gonna change his number and none of you will be able to get a hold of him.
Man, I guess we'll see. It's been chill. Like I even like a lot of my old time friends have been sending me like, yo, I heard your song here and there, and it's just like crazy to know that like it's actually reaching out and people that I know are like knowing my songs. It's just crazy.
It's crazy. It's only gonna get crazier, Jake.
Yeah, hope so.
From a fan, and you know, this being part of my job, like, thank you for the music.
Hey,
it's fucking rad.
Hey, it's my favorite thing. I just love making it.
Wow, shout out to Jake, everybody. Go check out Jake. I would say go listen to Upside Down. Go listen to almost Dandelion. Go listen to This Is Exactly What Love Feels Like, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is exactly what Heartbreak
feels
like. And listen to those two back to back.
Yeah.
It actually is. It tastes real good when you like listen to them back to back.
Yeah, there may or may not be a little trickery happening in the album that will kind of meld some of the stuff together. So
Love goes first, right? This is what love feels like. I feel like it's placed better going first, and then
you guys will see. I got some really cool ideas on the way.
I'm so hyped about you, bro. I know how creative you are, and I'm like beyond excited to see what's to come.
100%. I'm pumped.
All right, Jake, where can they find you on socials and everywhere?
Yeah, you can find me. Just search up Jvke pretty much anywhere. You'll find me somewhere. Across Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Absolutely, and we're gonna end this with in 10 years from now, Jake is gonna be more famous than Jake Paul.
Hey,
I put my money here on it right now.
We'll try. Let's go.
Jake, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. Very nice to meet you, everyone. This was Dash Radio. You can hear Jake all over Dash Pop X. You're going to be over Dash Hits X.
Let's go.
Like, you're going to be on a gang of our stations.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm pumped. Thank you.
All right, everyone. We're out. Peace.
Peace.